I'll start off showing you the restore options by showing you an error that I've made a few times over the years, and that is opening a document that I want to base a new document on and then clicking save, whereas I really wanted to do save as. So if I open a document called My Important Document, and I'll make a load of changes and then click File, Save. Then, oops, I didn't mean to overwrite my original document. Well, it's not too late to do Save As. And then change the name. But now I want to get back my original document. Let's start AISBackup. Okay. Select the backup job if there's more than one, and then click Restore from Backup. Now select the session from which the document you've overwritten existed. This is particularly important if you didn't realize that you overwrote it for a few days, weeks, or even months. You can choose the date. Now you can drill down to where the document is, select it and restore. If you don't quite know where the document is, or you've got hundreds, thousands of documents, you can type in the name or part of the name and click search. Then from the search items, select the job, click OK. Then click next. We're going to restore it to the original path. Click next. Now the duplicate file actions, the default is replace duplicates with different files. So that's if they're older files or newer files. There's an option to replace duplicates. Always prompt you to ask you if you want to replace the duplicates. Don't replace duplicates, or replace duplicates with newer files only. Well, we know that the file we're restoring is older than the file that exists now. So I'll just click next. About to restore one file. Yes. Restore complete. Now if I go to Open Office, and then open, you'll see that My Important Document is back, and my new important document is there alongside it. Here is an alternative method of finding a file if you are not sure of when it was backed up. This time we'll choose all sessions and navigate to the folder contained in the file. As you can see here, there are two versions of My Important Document. One was backed up today and one was backed up on the 7th of April. You can check by double clicking the file directly from the backup if it's the one you want to restore. As you can see, My Document version 1 is the correct one, so we can select it, choose next. We want to restore it to the original location, choose next. Now when you select all sessions in AISBackup, it defaults to do not replace duplicates. But in this case, we want to replace the file because it's different to the existing file on the PC. Choose Next. About to restore one file, choose Yes, Restore Complete. Now if I navigate to Documents, you can see the version my new important document that was saved today, and my important document has been restored with the original date modified date. Before I move on to show you how to restore files that were backed up on a different computer, I'll quickly show you some new options in version 6 of AISBackup. On the restore form, quite often if you're looking for files and folders, you can be bombarded with a load of folders that you didn't even know existed before. I've just drilled down to C users Barry, and you can see a lot of folders there. My documents, documents. Now, built into this version of AISBackup is the ability to hide hidden folders. Now, obviously, AISBackup backs up everything, or everything you select, and many of those files are system files. So another option for when you're restoring files, data files, and you don't want to affect the operating system in any way, is to hide system registry and hidden files. So you can see the list of folders is very much smaller now. If I click that again, you can see these enter user files are the registry files for the username Barry, or the account Barry. So if I hide them. Now if you hide system files, they won't be restored. With hidden folders, they're only hidden in this part of the list view. They're still in the folders view. One reason for that is a folder that's normally hidden on Windows is called program data, and that holds data files for Windows applications, one of which is our own data files for the backup system. So despite the fact I've hidden the folder program files here, it is still accessible here if you did want to restore any file. Now there's not a lot on this PC, so what I'm going to show you now is how to restore files that were made on a different computer. This backup was made on an external drive, which I'll now plug in. To restore from a backup that was made on a different computer, use the Tools Open Job from Backup Media option. There are other open job options which I won't cover here. For example, open a job from an FTP server. Navigate to the folder containing the backup and double-click one of the files you're presented with. If you're going to be restoring more than once, then you may want to choose to reinstate the backup. And as this backup is from another computer, we'll check this backup is from a different PC and then click Yes. Now, selecting this backup is from a different PC changes some of the default settings for restoring files. I'll come to those later. Select the backup and then choose Restore from Backup. Double-click the session you want to restore from, and then one option is to find a file if you know all or part of the name. Click Search, then drill down the search results, and you can double-click a file to open it. You can click on the file and then choose OK. this will then open it up in the folder where the file is located. You can see here there's more than one picture. Now, when you selected this backup is from a different PC, it changes some of the defaults here, like hide system registry and hidden files. If you're restoring from another PC, you don't want to be replacing the registry, for example, which is a Windows operating system file, and the system files, which may upset the smooth running of the PC you're running from now. Another option for restore is if I create a folder on the desktop and call it pictures, open it up and move it out of the way somewhere. You can actually drag and drop a file from this list view. You can select more than one file and drop them over. You can actually select a whole folder and drag and drop. But using this method invokes the full restore capability of AISBackup. So in this case, we'll leave the defaults, do not replace duplicates, do not restore the security settings. Restoring the security settings may prevent you from accessing the files, although system administrators will be able to change the security settings at a later time. Click yes. So now we can see the folder's been restored. If the directory structure is exactly the same on the backup and the existing PC, for example, C uses Barry, and you want to restore multiple folders from the backup. So if I show you the directory structure of this PC, you can see C uses Barry is the same. Then you can select the folders, choose next. If you've been dragging and dropping restores, then the to path will still be there, so remove that because we now want to restore to the original path, and then click next. Again, if you're storing from another computer, you probably, and you've already made some of the documents and you don't want to replace those, then you can choose or leave the default do not replace duplicates, and again, do not replace security settings, or you may not have access to the files, although system administrators can change the security at a later time. And then click yes to restore. So now the files have been restored to the same directory structure as the original. So if I quickly go into pictures there. Now if you want to restore to a different account, so in this case Pauline, you can see that the pictures folder doesn't contain anything. You can again choose restore from backup, but in this case it's easier if you choose the drag and drop method of restore. So if I go back to the root of C uses Pauline, you can drag and drop these folders directly onto it, and again use the defaults of do not replace duplicates and don't restore the NTFS security settings. Click next. About to restore 16 files. Yes. Restore complete. Now you can see the new user account pictures has documents.